You're so patient, Steve. T-Rex, you want to go out the door and do some weather and more? I hear there might have been some snow last night.
January 15th, the midpoint of meteorological winter, and it's 23 degrees. Fitting for the middle of winter, don't you think? But unusual this winter, we've only had a handful of mornings where the temperature actually got down into the low and mid 20s, and we have not even seen 19 degrees yet. And yes, there is snow on the ground. Steve loves the snow. T-Rex loves the snow. There's the ferry taking off for us, looking over at Hull, Massachusetts, where this is the second day in a row where we're not going to have flooding. It's the 11th day in a row now with snow somewhere in New England. Jay Peak now has picked up, I don't know, about a foot of snow in the last 4 days or so. The upper lifts haven't been open yet either because of the wind. Let's do the ice bucket. Oh, nice clean looking ice there. It's not solid, but it's ice. So we're in the, I wouldn't call it deep freeze. The deep freeze just is not making it into New England. The deep freeze is from the northern plains once again down to North Texas, where Dallas this morning was 10 degrees, while Boston was about 23 degrees. So it's colder in Texas. And it's been snowing now in Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama and Nashville, Tennessee. Reed Timmer, you know him, he chases the tornadoes. He's in Nashville. He said it was freezing rain and sleet and snow in, what's it called, the Honky Tonk District? I can't remember. But anyhow, those party trailers, we had snowplows on them last night. And so that weather is coming toward New England, but we're not cold enough for all snow. We are just on the perimeter of the Arctic air mass. That storm that went by on Saturday with the severe flooding, it went north, and there it is on the satellite imagery, sitting there over Hudson Bay, Canada, spinning, keeping that cold air headed more south than east, and to the north side of that low, which here it is from the Ocean Prediction Center map. Look at the arrow. That low is still headed toward the west. That's backing, retrograding. And if we look at the North America continent, and Europe really, for record temperatures, you can see around the northwest part of Africa, southwestern Europe, record warm. And also north of Hudson Bay, Canada, record warm this morning, and that's at night. By the way, that's about 37. And then all the record low temperatures happening again today from Montana down to Texas and Louisiana. We are just on the edge of that really cold. We're getting modified cold coming in from the southwest. So we're not getting into the deep freeze here in New England, except for maybe for a few days in the next 5. So what's up next to this blue sky with sort of a very small meso high pressure system sinking air is going to be replaced by increasing clouds this afternoon. You can almost see them out there on the horizon north of Blue Hill. If we look at another satellite imagery here, you can see the band of clouds that does extend from south of Long Island all the way down to Texas. And that's the boundary between the deep Arctic chill and what we have here is modified Arctic. We can call it polar chill. The degrees of cold air go polar is cold and Arctic is wicked cold. And then subtropical south of Florida also plays a role. So we're going to have a developing storm system going by tonight and tomorrow, and it's not going to be all snow. A wintry mix is expected from Boston to Cape Cod and the islands and to Narragansett Bay. Last week when I got burnt on the rain-snow lines, everyone said, you should have used the RGEM, Tim. What's the RGEM? That's computer guidance from Canada. It's a high-resolution guidance, and everyone said it did a great job with the rain-snow line. So here you go. I don't get it at Pivotal Weather. I get it at Tropical Tidbits, of all places. A place where you usually get tropical information. I'm going to use it for the rain-snow line. Anyhow, here we go. So blue is snow, green is rain. There it is, about midnight or so. Blue, snow, arriving at the south coast of New England. Then it's advancing north. Looks like a pretty good burst of snow on the front side of warmer air trying to come north and colder air resisting with right around 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. Dark blue right near Providence, right up to near Boston. And after that, look, kind of shuts off a little bit. Green, rain on Cape Cod and
Probably end up with a few hours of drizzle here midday in the Boston area. And meanwhile, you can really see the shades of blue north. Lean cold into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine for some heavier bands of snow as this system strengthens rapidly, really. It's, pardon, timeout. When this low gets here early tomorrow or late tonight, it's about a 1013 millibar low over South Carolina. All right, continue now, Tim. And as it exits tomorrow night, it's down to about 989. So that's 24 millibars from 2 a.m. to 24 hours later, 2 a.m. on Wednesday. That is bombogenesis. So this storm is deepening rapidly. And so that means we can expect some surprises. And I think those surprises are going to be where you want to go skiing. I think a widespread, probably 3 inches of snow, less Martin on Cape Cod. I don't know. You may get, on Nantucket, you may get coated, but not a lot. I'm sorry. We just can't buy an all-snow storm in the last couple of years. Anyhow, once you get to the mountains from Killington, I'd say we can overachieve here, probably about 5 or 6 at Killington. You get over to Wildcat. Now I'm thinking about 7 or 8. And then once you get to Sugarloaf, probably about 8 inches of snow or more. I don't have any idea whether or not winter weather advisories and winter storm warnings up for the Northeast tomorrow. And that's kind of surprising to me. I guess the criteria must be falling just short of what the National Weather Service needs. Anyhow, it's going to get windy and colder on the backside of that here. We'll have a very cold, windy Wednesday, and then Thursday looks kind of quiet. And then we have another wave coming along. So these waves aren't really strong as they come at us. They're perturbations on the boundary between the very cold and the warmer air over the southeast with the ridge coming, that Bermuda ridge that just refuses to give up. And so here we go again. Thursday afternoon, a little bit of light snow. Now we've switched back to the Euro on Pivotal, sorry. And Friday, here we go. Another low going south of New England. And again, rain snow line very close to Nantucket. And I think that probably is going to strengthen a little bit more. Remember, last week, a couple of the guidance runs had these lows going ridiculous, 940s and 950s. And I think tonight's is ramping back up a little more than we thought a few days ago. And then Friday will ramp up a bit too, because then we are truly getting into the coldest air in North America going over New England and the Great Lakes states. And that probably is going to cause this storm to be stronger than how it looks now. And then either way, Saturday, we are in the coldest air so far this season, and maybe for the entire winter. It's going to be windy with a temperature barely reaching 20 in Boston. Last winter, we had all the winter contained into about 2 days, February 2 and 3. This year, we get, well, today through about Saturday and Sunday. And then in the middle of next week, it's warming up from coast to coast, and the cold is really retreating. And it looks like we're going to have another January thaw coming at us probably about a week from tomorrow. As for what's going on, is the football yesterday was fun. I didn't realize both of those games were indoors in Dallas and also in Detroit. Anyhow, congratulations to the Packers and the Detroit Lions. That was kind of fun. And the weather chasers in Buffalo. Buffalo King, he went down to the edge of the lake. I did get your name right. There it is on Twitter anyway. And that's what it looks like on the edge of the lake with the snow and the ice forming with the lake splashing up on the house. And then Mark Sudeth, also a tropical kind of guy, he chased to the stadium in Orchard Park. What's it called? I can't remember the name of the stadium the Bills play at. And he says, everybody come down with your shovels. We need about 10,000 people with shovels here to clear the stands. The snow band is easing out of Buffalo, and there should be football on TV. I hope it's not streaming. I don't even want to stream it. Anyhow, so that's the state of what's going on around here. T-Rex in the melting snow and the sunshine, smelling the critters from last night. Yesterday was a busy day of chasing. I was anticipating a snow flurry in the middle of the afternoon, and it turned into a really heavy snow shower. That was a shock. I didn't think that. And we never really did get, well, I guess. And then we had another little snow shower around 5 o'clock. And then an hour after that, we had an actual snow squall, but it was a diminishing snow squall. And Jenny in Halifax, my big sister, and she reported thunder snow at about 2 in the afternoon. And thunderstorms went into Cape Cod Bay. So yesterday we had snow with a temperature in the low 40s. And last weekend we had a rain with temperatures in the mid 30s. It is not easy being a snow lover or a weather forecaster around here. But we do our best, and I had some fun with it. Should I play that really goofy video I did at the end? All right, stand by at the very end of the In More after some time lapse. Very goofy. Tim playing out one of his childhood dreams, pretending he's a cartoon monster and falling snow. Look at that one little green leaf right there. All right. Always something to look at on the bright side. There it is. Talk to you tomorrow. Fresh water still running down the hill. T-Rex and I walking on the hill. We got those first little snowflakes coming down just across the water here. It looks like high tide pretty high, but not quite flooding. People that come here and leave us all their trash. T-Rex and I just try and make the best of it. Walking the wall. Looking at the water. Whoa, Rex, let me know before you jump like that. Snowflakes in the sky. Second Sunday afternoon in a row. I already have slush and it hasn't even started to snow yet, and it's not even really freezing. Down here at West Augusta, they call it the Old Beach. It does not look like there was flooding here yesterday. Looks like the high water line came right up to about the wall. But your George Lane Beach did. Rex, let's go the other way and go check George Lane Beach. Come on, this way. Yeah, let's go the other way. Yeah, just a little bit lazy. Driving instead of walking. It's at least several hundred yards. So all this water comes down Great Hill, and there's been more than a half a foot of rain in the last week and a half. So we're gonna build a little glacier. No flooding, good. Glad to hear. Wasn't sure, because the water looked pretty high from the house. I wonder why they like standing or splashing in the puddle. Because they're like little kids? Everyone loves to play in a puddle? You want to play in a puddle? Maybe they just figure no one will bother us if we sit in the water. Not bother each other. Something I said? Watch out. They can come around and relieve themselves right over the car or your head. Don't forget that. Windy. That's not the snow squall right there. That's a snow flurry or a snow shower. It's actually warm enough that it could be a raindrop or two. And also when it's warmer, you have a better chance of the precipitation evaporating before it hits the ground. So just a few snowflakes with this. The squall itself is still west of Worcester. Not even 2 o'clock yet. We can compare yesterday's high tide right here to today's high tide right here. It's like about, I don't know, 2 feet lower. So today, no storm surge, and just past the new moon, less astronomical influence, and no storm influence. Yeah, it looks like snow, doesn't it? Feels like snow. Any second. Out the door, 2:15, Sunday. We've got some heavy virga precipitation leaving the cloud and mostly evaporating before hitting the ground. It's 43 degrees and the sky is falling over Boston. You can see the precipitation, and I think, yes, it is actually snowing out. And it was almost exactly 2:30 1 week ago today that it started snowing for real with that last Sunday storm. So yes, snowflakes at 43 degrees right now. 2:40. Looks like the precipitation's coming down a little harder now. It's 42 degrees and dropping, I believe. And what do we have? Snowflakes, 42 degrees. Looking over towards Hull. Panning past Winthrop and over to Boston. can actually see the snow reaching the ground over there at Howe's Neck in Quincy and over toward Blue Hill. So this is just the precursor of the actual snow squall, which is still an hour and a half away. Now, when the real snow squall gets here, I won't be able to set up my tripod and set it down because it'll blow over. But with this one, I think I can. So let's try and make a little time lapse right here. See how low the visibility can go. Just before 3 p.m. This is the precursor for the bigger snow. A little later. Hope it doesn't ruin it. For the next squall, that is. It's 10 past 3. I've been making this video now for, I don't know, about 23 minutes. And this is nothing like I expected, even a half hour ago. I thought it was just going to be an initial burst of like a snow flurry or something ahead of the squall line that's still out west of Worcester. But instead we've tapped the Atlantic Ocean and we have a wave developing on an Arctic boundary. And there's actually some thunder in southwestern New Hampshire. We've had, I don't know, 1/10 of an inch of snow here with the temperature going from 43 to 36. It's not even freezing out yet with these massive clumping snowflakes. And I honestly do not know how this is going to wind up. It's starting to look like the NAM back on Thursday evening was forecasting a little mini blizzard in eastern Massachusetts with cyclogenesis, and it may be happening. So Mother Nature is still in charge. My goodness, I see a little boat over there. I don't think anyone thought this was going to happen today. And again, still 36 degrees. Can you see that boat? Can you see it? The visibility right now is less than a half mile. So whenever you're about a half mile visibility, it'll be accumulating a ½ inch per hour, but the ground is not frozen. And so a lot of this is melting, but it's going to make incredibly icy roads. I think that guy's safer in his boat than people on the roads right now. All right, how about one more time lapse just to see if the real squall line can come in. Gotta tuck the phone into the corner here on the tripod so it doesn't blow over. So now it's 10 of 5. Second little line coming through here. First one wasn't really a squall. This one looks like it does have the wind. Closing the door. All right, that was about 19 minutes. And kind of a good squall there. It looked like we had a gust to about 35 or 40 at 5 o'clock. But the real deep green squall is still about 20 minutes to our west on the radar. Pulsing. Cold air advection. Let's bring the camera back inside and let it warm up a little bit. Maybe do one more. First time I've seen freezing on this thermometer since Tuesday. Not kidding. I've had 3 different snow showers today. Kind of squally. I'd say this is the last one, number 3. All right. Now it's Tim's turn. Getting a good snow squall now up here in Weymouth, Massachusetts with my Cape Cod Tech sweatshirt on. I really get spoiled with 3 different snows today. How does that happen? Well, cold air works in pulses. You get a pulse of cool, then cold, then colder, and coldest. And who's cooler than you guys? Talk to you later. I am Sasquatch. I'm actually Tim's shadow in a snow squall. Was that funny? That was pretty cool, huh? It's just a shadow. Playing with my shadow today. I've only had 1 beer so far. No, seriously, only 1.